Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Glad that you are here. Feel free to go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Make sure you give us a like because all the more of those helps us spread the word and create more entrepreneurs. Now, you're going to get the opportunity to hear yet another Q&A, and in this particular one, what you're going to hear is a unique situation that happened around service animals. So, what if you don't want pets inside your listings? What if you end up with a guest who has a service animal or an emotional support animal? How do you handle that situation? It came up real time for one of our students. We definitely addressed it here. And for those of you who want to get more information or get a little bit closer to us, get some of your questions answered, feel free to join us at cashflowdiary.com/mastery. And then eventually we hope you'll graduate to come to our student groups as well, where we can help you even more and grow that business even bigger, better, and faster. So enjoy the Q&A. All right, peoples, how are you doing today? Hopefully things are going well. For those of you who are here for the first time, welcome. If you're here for the 100th time, because that's actually possible. Do you guys realize how long we've been doing these Q&As, helping entrepreneurs to become bigger, better, badder versions of themselves? It's been a lot of years. Anyway, if you're here for the 100th time, welcome back. But I know there's a number of you who are here for the first time. Maybe you just joined us because of some specials, or especially around Black Friday, that type of thing. You were part of that Q&A, etc., which is great. This is how it works, on a weekly basis. Those of you who are members, you get the privilege of asking questions. Now, one of those things that I want to make sure is really, really clear. Many of you are joining us. You are currently at the status of a member, which is great, wonderful. We're glad to have you, and you're in what we call our mastery group. A number of you who just became students, you're going to want to make sure that you're in the student group, because it is the students who are promised the Q&A on a weekly basis and all this interaction, and that's where I am the majority of the time. Now, as you can tell, obviously, those of you who are in the mastery group, occasionally, hey, you get the opportunity to join us as well. But we just want to make sure that our student benefits are well communicated and the students understand that these benefits are there for them, especially since there's so many more of you that are brand new. You may not have yet made the switch into the student group. But for those of you, maybe, you're just trying to figure some things out and you want to hang out with some cool people, feel free to come and join us in the mastery group as well, especially those of you watching either live or the replay on YouTube. Feel free to come and do that at cashflowdiary.com/mastery. Now, I'm not sure if you guys have been paying attention to, there's a conversation that's happening inside the student group right now that I'm kind of curious to see how it goes, all around service animals and etc. So hopefully we'll be able to continue to watch that develop as it obviously happens, because I'm curious. This is one of those iffy subjects that it's hard to push back, meaning if you don't want pets in your place, and you've got this whole issue around, having pets, but yet someone has, and there's different classifications between an assistance animal, a service animal, emotional support animal, and how much support will you get either from the platform? How do you handle this with guests? It's been a topic that I have found it easier to just allow this support animal than not. Yes, obviously they can have proper documentation, all those types of things, but I'm interested to see how this particular issue goes because of one of our students is currently dealing with it, of course. Now, for those of you who are here in the chat room, obviously the chat room is there, but the chat room is boring. That's why we have the live link. Go to cashflowdiary.com/live link on any Chrome browser, non-iOS device. Any Chrome browser, non-iOS device. Come and talk with me live because, I want to talk with you live. That's the whole point of making sure that you can talk to us live. We went through the trouble, so take advantage of it while you can. Now, with that being said, let me make sure that the comments are coming through, because it does not look like they are at this moment. I know that some of you are in the various groups and I don't see, oh man, these comments occasionally. Give me 1 second. Working with Facebook here. So if I haven't said anything to you regarding your comments, it's because I don't see them yet. Just give me a second. I'm going to start in the student group, of course. Student, short-term students only. And where'd it go? Where's the, okay, there's the live. There we go. I see it. I see your comments now. Excellent. Joe says hello. Russell, how are you? Microphone checker, you're funny. Russell, oh, we have multiple Russells now. Tapper and Long. What's up, everyone? Hustle Russell in the house. That's awesome. Okay, excellent. So I see those comments. Let me go to the next group and try this again, because I just want to make sure that I can see what you guys have to say. There we go. Rebecca, how are you? I got your new Note 9 up and running. Excellent. Rebecca is excited. Are you excited about the phone, though? That's the question. The question I want to know is, I know I'm excited about the Note 9. I know why I'm excited about the Note 9. I also know why I'm excited about why I was excited about the Note 8. And yes, for those of you who may not have tuned in a while, I made the switch from Apple to Android a little bit ago. Although I will say this, a lot of the stuff that, if you're still listening to the podcast, which I hope you are, and if you're watching on YouTube, again, I hope you are, a lot of those things are still created on an Apple device. So a lot of the content still created on Apple, but from a day-to-day business standpoint, it's all done on the Windows and Android platform, so it works out very, very well. Hey, Marcy, how are you? Yep. Jay, I updated the thread going on with Airbnb. Please take a look. Yes, Davey, I was going to look at that in just a second. Oh, man, I would love to be in on that discussion. Service animals fall into a protected status. And yeah, I can see how that can be a hairy conversation. No pun intended, I'm sure. You like the Note series. What about it? I love the pin functionality. I didn't know how you were going to feel about that, Rebecca. So what Rebecca's referring to when she says she loves the pin functionality, the pin is actually it's basically a wireless remote regarding the phone. So obviously you can take photos with it in a remote fashion, like by clicking the pin, which is cool. I tend to use it mostly, though, when I'm pausing either an audiobook or a YouTube video. So I'm listening, but I'm walking around, and you can pause. You can play and pause from the pen, which is very, very helpful. So I definitely like that. Anyway, let's see. All right. What else did I think I've already covered. For those of you in the master group that recently joined as students, make sure you get over to the student group, because I do not want you to get left out of conversations and stuff, because that would be frustrating. And then I also wanted to cover one more thing, because a number of you took advantage. You know that we've developed a relationship, because many of you have been waiting for, okay, what's replacing Toki? Now, if you are in the student group, we've already had a couple of live streams, or some messages and live streams about this. And what we have decided on, and what actually is working very, very well, is a product by the company name of Logify. We've negotiated a special deal with them. I don't know if their Black Friday special is still available, but click that link for sure. And if the Black Friday is still available, you'll be able to get up to 50% off anyway, so that everybody's on the same page, students and otherwise. We'll be using one tool to manage the calendar, completely different tool to manage your messaging. Okay, two different tools. They'll work together. As I told everyone in the student group already, make sure that you guys pay attention, because we will be doing, those of you, I did negotiate a special orientation for our group. That'll be hosted by the company themselves. And surprise, surprise, I didn't tell you guys, but I'll tell you now, I got us a dedicated account rep as well. So I'm pretty excited about both of those things. Either way you go and look at it. So make sure that you we're just going to upgrade the system. That's the idea here, and we'll do our best to keep all the right things going. All right. I think that's all the businessy stuff. Now, let's get to some of your questions. Make sure that you type them, or, as I said before, go to cashflowdiary.com/live link from a Chrome browser on any non-iOS device. Any non-iOS device, including a Samsung Galaxy Note 9. Yes, I've tested it. So that's totally possible. Oh my goodness, questions galore. All right. Marcy, Keela, how are you? I see you. And then, okay, so let's get an update. What you updated the thread. Davey says he's updated the thread. It's kind of hard for me to find it, Davey, but I will do my best while we're doing this way. The thread that he's referring to is simply the thread. He's the one who's having an active issue with this whole assistance animal. And I think it's Airbnb the guest is from or on or about to be. I'm not sure. Davey, is it a confirmed guest, like a confirmed actual reservation? That's the part I don't know. Every threatening hosts who do not allow an animal, even though there's absolutely no documentation, so they're a term anyone can throw around. Yes, that is very, very true. Please be aware that while you may ask, I'm a part of a specialized team that handles, in order to be in accordance with their require that you accept the host with assistance animals. Should we receive another report of a guest being denied or having result in further action taken against your account? Yep, I'm not surprised that they're saying that. So what I'm trying to say is, let me get this straight. So you're saying that a guest can come to our multifamily apartment building with a huge animal, not tell us in advance that they're bringing an animal, not have to provide proof whatsoever that this animal is in fact an ESA or service animal. We take their word for it. And if we don't let this animal in our house, we will be penalized by Airbnb. That is actually my understanding, Dave. So I like your response to them. I like how clear you talk, like you say things the way that I would say them. So let me make sure I'm clear. You're saying they can totally lie, because that's what you're saying. You're saying they can totally lie, expose us to all this risk, and if for some reason we don't want to be exposed to that risk, you can take action against our account. Then the answer is yeah. That is my understanding. This is why I have not fought this one. This is what you just wrote is exactly why I have not fought this one, to be very, very clear. So I'm really curious to hear how this goes, because it's really difficult. And what he's referring to is that this puts us as hosts it can put us as operators in a difficult position, because I just had one of these, in fact, last week. I had a person who has I forgot what she called it, but she literally travels with her own portable HEPA filter and extra filter replacements and all this other stuff, because whatever it is that's often in the air, she's that allergic to it that she travels with her own device that way. And I'm just like, wow, that's kind of like straight up serious. So because of that, it can be an issue, because people ask, hey, have pets ever stayed there? Smoking ever happened here? All of these things. And what and where Davey's going is like, well, what about all the other people? And more importantly, how do I clean up this mess if I do have them? And how do I, offset compensation? Because it's not like cleaning up after any animal is cheap and or free, because it's not. And you're saying I have to eat that cost. And that's part of, it puts us in a very challenging situation. And so, Davey, and here's the other thing that compounds this. Depending on the jurisdiction you're in, because there have not been specific rules or ordinances that are put in place, it's like, what protections do we have, if any? It's a great question, because, see, on one hand, everyone's like, I don't want regulation. I don't want these things. But yes, we actually do, guys. We really, really do. We need clarity for situations just like this. Do we fall under the same classifications as some of the other types of, temporary housing, or not? And is it up to the platform to decide how they want to act? Because, see, at this particular moment, if Airbnb is Davey's only customer acquisition channel, they're literally threatening his business. And that's a problem. there's just so many compounded things that can happen in this particular situation. That's why I find it very, 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 very interesting, and why we must stay on top of this situation. So, yeah, I can't. Oh, he just posted another reply, so this should be interesting. Oh, and they respond, you are correct that guests are not required to inform their host about having an assistant animal, and they're not required to provide proof of their animal being certified. Yep. When a guest indicates that they have a service animal, a host may ask whether their assistance animal is required because of a disability and what work or task the animal is trained to perform. Also, a host may ask a guest to remove a service animal if the animal is out of control and the animal's handler does not take effective action to control it, or the animal is not housebroken. Yup. Davey, that was my understanding. That was exactly my understanding. And that's exactly the challenge. Now, so with that being said, though, here's a couple of things that we have done to help us with this. In the most light situations, there is a can of spray at, let me see if I might be able to find this stuff. Hold on, let me switch to, let me see. I might be able to show you in real time some of the things that we have used. Boom, I think. So yeah, all right. So Davey, here are some of the possible things that we have done to help assist with things like pet dander and or smoke. One of our favorite, our go-to, by the way. This is our go-to. This is the first line of defense outside of the fact that people, do what they do. Our first line of defense is, and we have cans upon cans upon, I last purchased this, as you can see, on September 9th, 2018. Anyway, we have cans and cans of this stuff. We literally just buy the high end quantity pack because we're gonna go through it. That's step number one. Most of your light smoke smells, etc., can be handled right here. Same thing with pets or any other odors can be handled right here. Now you'll have those cases where people are saying that I'm allergic to aerosols, and this is the HEPA filter. Let me see if I can find it real fast. It was HEPA air purifier, if I remember correctly, and it was this one right here. And this is the one that my guest actually travels with. And so this is, solution number two. You can kind of put these in the units, leave them there, replace the filters, turn it on. And now again, solution number three is, and depending on where you are, ozone machine is an ozone machine. So something similar to one of these. Now these take, they're a little bit more complicated to use because you can't have humans or living animals inside the room when you're doing it, but it will totally destroy all the smoke and any of the allergens, all those things. We're literally changing the air and then reintroducing quote unquote fresh air when you open the windows. It can take anywhere from 2 to 6 hours, etc., for a simple treatment. And then these are all self-remedies that you or someone on your team can do. Then after that comes the professionals, where they're coming in. We're talking about steaming the curtains and going through the upholstery on the couches. And they've got their own machines and equipment, and sometimes an appointment is necessary, and you may have to shut down for a day. It just really depends on how bad it is. Hopefully it's not that bad, but this is these are the things that we've done, Davey, in order to deal with this. So yeah, sorry, bud. Let us know how it continues to go. Let me check the chat. Let's see what we got. Hey, Rebecca, you are joined in another group. That's pretty funny. And sweet. And get away with it. Yep. Yes, I saw that, Davey. Yep, that's pretty much the way the laws read verbatim. I guess Stay With Dave is now accepting dogs, cats, elephants, rats, tigers in all of our locations. Yes, Dave, you may not have known this, but you are pet friendly to some degree. But with that being said, those of you watching and considering and wondering, oh my gosh, I don't want to have to deal with this. It's not that you can't be dealt with. You just got to understand the situation and how to deal with it. And that's one of the benefits of being inside of our groups is like when these things happen, you can be around other people who have dealt with this before. But if those of you who are a little bit on the more entrepreneurial side, you may have just witnessed a very unique niche market to serve. And that niche market is simply people who want to travel with their pets because, yes, I've never heard of an assistant animal being a parakeet, but you never know, right? Like you got to ask yourself, what kind of trouble am I going to get in? How do I mean, like, how are you going to fight these things? And that's part of the challenge. And it is what it is when you're dealing with when you're dealing with what is known as a protected class, and that's just the way it goes. What about service peacocks? Exactly, Susan. You understand where I'm coming from. She gets it. Hey, Jaleesa, how are you? And I'm looking for any other questions in here today. Doesn't look like we have any. Does that mean I get to be done early? Because, I mean, I'm open with that. Definitely open to that. Elephants. A service elephant? I'm not, well, that would be unique too. Okay, so I can see what's happening is that I'm not getting some of the questions. I just found them. So give me 1 second, guys, while I'm going to have to go to this other screen. Just give me 1 second. I see that for whatever reason, Facebook is not feeding me the questions. So give me 1 second to fix this. Okay, so I see the ones from the students. I got that now. So now I'm going to go over to the mastery group. And hopefully I'll be able to see those too. And again, sorry, not sure why this happens. I just know that it happens. Okay. I see that. Okay, I think I got all of those out of the mastery group. So now I'm going to go to the real estate group. Give me 1 second, guys. I just want to make sure that, because I can see, I now see a whole bunch of comments that I just missed. Cash flow. Okay. And it doesn't look like I'm missing any from the real estate group. So, okay, cool. So let's get to some of these that I have been missing. I have no idea why. All right. I see 13 of them. All right. Give me a second. I'm going to get caught up or at least be able to read some of them. John Williams says, if you were able to create a business card for this business, what would be on it? We had a funeral director ask us for our business card today. This is one of our target customers' family coming to town for life events. Got it. That's not a bad idea there, John, in terms of a target market, etc. So I like that. What I would do is that I would have the business card be more of a reservation / appointment card. So let me see if I can show you what I mean by this. In fact, I probably can. So what I'm going to do, whoops, that didn't work out, LODG. Or what I'm going to attempt to do, yes. So let me show you right here. Boom. All right. So John, what I did is I went over to Logify you look at one of their templates. So on one side of the card, I'm going to have it look like the front part of my business card. This is the design choice I'm going to go for, so that the design looks very similar to here, right? And then on the back, I'm actually going to have the ability for them to write down reservation details and quotes. So in theory, what's going to happen is that they're going to hand your card. On the front's the contact information. On the back is the way for them to write down the information for the quote. So when the customer or potential guest calls you, they can turn over the card, and they're going to know what questions you're going to ask them, because they've got to fill in these blanks, and they'll be able to write down the answers, i.e. how much the stay is, etc., and the dates, and etc., so that they can write that down, and any sort of confirmation number if you should choose to do that. That's what I've had my cards. I don't know where they are right now. Look like before, and I would go with something very similar to what you're seeing right here again. So okay, let me go see if I can get these. There we go. Come on, questions. Don't hide. Don't be shy. Darn it. 1 second. Boom. There we go. All right. You're asking what happened. Why did I switch from Apple? That's a long story. Hey, Lane, how are you? Hey, Akila. Hey, Jay. Thanks for giving us the heads up on Logify. You're welcome. Today, my new listing was paused by Airbnb. They said I had too many bad reviews. What is the fastest way I can fix this? What do you do in this case? That's interesting. Okay, so number one, first thing to check if they've paused your listing, too many bad reviews, go back through the reviews you received on that particular listing and look at the star ratings, because what's happening is there's probably something, I'm going to take a guess, in your arrival process or the cleanliness that are causing issues, or that the guests have repeatedly said, and you've just missed them, because I know you've been hard, fast, and heavy pushing for growth. So when that happens, sometimes operations and quality can slip through the cracks, and we need to pay attention to that. So you need to know what that is. Second, typically they're going to make you wait about 5 days. That's just what's going to happen. It's going to make you wait about 5 days before you can relist it. They're trying to, quote unquote, give you time to address this issue. I've had this issue before, because what happened is that a neighbor, in an apartment building, the tenant next door was a hoarder, and we had an issue with roaches. And no matter what we did to, quote unquote, protect my unit, the roaches found a way in, literally. And then until the tenant next door got it cleaned up, it was really, really tough. So I feel you, my friend. I understand how that is. Because sometimes what happens, the other thing that could happen is just like the apartment or plumbing or something fails so consistently that people just hate the experience that they've had. Because I had that happen at a completely different unit. And what can you do? It becomes a challenge. So you've got to work tightly with your landlord to make sure whatever it is that needs to get fixed gets fixed. If it's your arrival process, you can fix it. If it's your cleanliness and team, you can fix that. They're typically going to make you wait 5 business days, however, before they'll before they'll reactivate that particular listing. And yes, for all of you, this is why our system, for those of you who have been following for any length of time, you know that we've been communicating to you. We have started building the content for and are upgrading the system to talk about phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. But part of phase 2 is, how do I get off of and not be as dependent upon the marketing sites like the Airbnbs, the VRBOs, the HomeAways, the Booking.coms, in order to be able to keep my business going. You must have a way to do that, and Logify is a part of that plan. So it sounds like, Akila, that you signed up. That's great. You'll be getting the contact information for our special group orientation as well. Don't let that stop you, though, from poking around and getting that stuff. And on that group orientation, I'll be introducing everybody to our dedicated account rep in case you have any additional issues. But it will help all of us build a bigger business that allows for those of you who are not yet in a BNI chapter. It'll also help you there. It's just going to help all the way around. So I'm excited about it. Kara, you know what, Kara? Half the time I probably call you Kara. The other half I probably call you Kara. If you can let a brother know which way it is, would be really great. All right. It says our short-term rental is pet friendly, and 90% of our guests say that's why they chose our place over others. Yes, exactly. That's exactly my point. Do you understand what I'm saying? Is that you can indeed create an entire niche of nothing but pet-friendly places. Period. And you'll stay full because people, there's a lot, that filter, that checkbox is there for a reason, because people who are looking for a safe place for their pets to stay, well, there you go. There you go. Hey, Lorena, how are you? Hello, Jay. I have a house. Okay, I'm going to read this slowly. I'm going to read it word for word and do my best. Hello, Jay. I have house also rent out individual room. It mean if the whole house get rent out, the list for the room will get blocked out and vice versa. Okay, got it. Understood. Can Lodgify do the calendar management on that? I only have Airbnb and VRBO so far. Will they have a problem to manage both channels without any glitch? And the answer to those questions are all going to be handled in the orientation, but when the short answer is yes. How is your next question? This is why we're also going to be building tutorials, but that's why you also want to be a part of the orientation class to make sure that all that works. Russell, how is the cash flow game system for raising capital for units different than what we have in your recordings? The only thing that changes is what you do in what's called the investor identity interview. Remember, in the investor identity interview, Russell, what happens at the end is, well, actually there's two things. What happens at the end is that you're finding out, you're describing during your III interview what it is that you do and how it works and etc. And you're doing that in the context of who do you serve. Also, when you're running your cash flow games, you're giving examples of how, instead of giving examples of a long-term traditional tenant, you're giving numerical examples of a short-term rental and how those numbers work there. John, that screen wasn't visible though. But I have an idea. Oh, you didn't see it? Oh, my bad. Hold on. Let me go back. I can probably go back there. I thought it was. I was sitting there talking. I pressed the button, and you're saying you didn't see this. So hopefully now you see it. But what I was talking about is this right here, the way this website looks right here. Like it looks like it's ready to accept a reservation, but then on the back of the card is where I would have. So this also plays into the paper you use. So on the front, sure, if you want to be glossy, nice, fine. But on the back, make sure it's ballpoint ink compatible, which means not glossy, usually matte in some way, shape, or form. But you want to make sure that they can write in the information that they can for a confirmation for a reservation. So hopefully you see it this time. Sorry about that. I did not. I assumed you saw it last time, but clearly you did not. Because Facebook's playing games with your questions, man. Playing games. I'm trying to see your questions, trying to help some folk. Facebook don't want to tell a brother what's going on. Okay. What's this? Let me go back. I'm looking for more questions, guys. I'm just making sure. I keep having to refresh the stream or something. To make sure that I can see what you guys are typing. Hi, Jay. Thanks for the heads up on... Oh, wait. No, I already read that, Akila. Jay, I'm on the live link. Oh, I didn't see that. Sorry, it's hard to pay attention. Oh, sorry. You can go back over there, Davey, because for some reason, I don't see you as having requested to join, because I'm having to pay attention to two computers because one is they're hiding your questions today. Yes, thank you. Glad I asked. Yes, I'm glad you asked too. Hey, Veronica, what's going on? Shirley, Jay, what's the minimum internet speed for all of our tech needs for a 2-bed, 2-bath, looking at a property in Temecula, wine country with internet providers up to 20, 350 short of spectrum. 20 is fine. 20 is fine. Usually 10 is going to cover it. I'm assuming when you ask for minimum internet speed, you're using things like YouTube TV on your televisions. So, and in a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, you're going to have 3 televisions if you're following the system. So that's 2, 4, 6. Plus whatever, and I'm talking about, it's going to be hard for you to use all 10 at once, but if for some reason they have all 3 TVs going and are doing a Skype video conference plus trying to watch a movie on Netflix on a computer. I had to figure out how they would do that. If all of those things are happening simultaneously, then and only then might they experience some sort of service degradation. There you go. Hey, gamer. Oh, my goodness. Okay, I thought... Nope. Davey, I still don't see you. I don't know if maybe the live link's not working. I have no idea. But give it a try. Go to cashflowdiary.com/live link. I just did not see it over there. Hey, Rafa, how are you? I see you. I like it. Let me go back and look through questions one more time. You know, technology is great. It's better when it works properly. Just saying. Hey, Randy. Okay, don't see any there. Just going through each and every one of the question feeds because for some reason, there we go. Short term. Okay. And one more to go. Students only. There we go. I recall you saying this business could be run from a smartphone and a tablet. Given the advances in phones, I wonder if it was possible to use just the phone. It is technically possible to use just the phone. The challenge with using just the phone, there are some platforms, specifically it's the pricing platforms like your Price Labs or Use Wheelhouse, which are not formatted very well for a mobile device or the screen size of a phone. So it's really about screen size. It's just not really comfortable to make certain changes on your phone as it is comfortable to make those changes on the on a tablet or something with a little bit bigger screen. Plus, in their wisdom, many of the platforms, Airbnb is what I'm thinking of at this moment, the app functionality is different than the mobile web is different than the computer. Therefore, you have to, there are just some things that I only will do like on the computer. And this just, I didn't design the app. That's just the way it works. So keep that in mind. Hey, TJ, how are you? And I'm looking. Okay, if I did not answer your question, it's because I did not see it. Not because I'm not trying to not answer your question. I'm just being clear with you guys today that I didn't see it yet. If you've asked it and I've not answered it, please retype it. I'm refreshing all those things one more time. So, what else you guys got for me, though, in the meantime? And again, I'm completely okay if you've got nothing. But I see a lot of you here. Oh, there it goes. Hold on one second. Do you have any units that do not allow a camera on the doorbell? I've had units that don't have a doorbell. Yeah, I've had units that don't have a doorbell, like already there, and I've added it, but I've not had anyone. Well, here's a couple of things. I have erred on the side of more asking for forgiveness than permission. No one's ever asked me to remove the doorbell camera. That's how I'm going to put that. No one has ever asked for me to remove the doorbell camera. Everybody knows they're there, but no one has asked me to remove any. Ta-da! Gamer says, any new creative ideas for ranking higher in the search results? It's funny, Gamer, that you asked this very question, and the answer is yes, but I'm not ready to describe and teach that just yet because I was just at lunch, breakfast, whatever you call it, describing what I'd been doing with Robert, and because he had a very similar question, and it revolves. I will say this: it involves using price labs creatively, involves using your management fee percentage creatively, and involves using Airbnb's pricing rules, all three simultaneously, to achieve a very specific result in terms of being able to advertise your lowest price and incentivizing certain length of stays, so that you're always showing your from price to be as low as humanly possible, but yet the actual checkout price still comes out to what you would consider to be acceptable. So yeah, I'm still testing that. I've been testing it for a little while. It seems to be working. So as I get more confirmation of that, yeah, I'm going to share it with you. But because I've been playing around with it for a little while, so hopefully that helps. But what I can tell you, gamer, is we did finally get our new relationship going and discount on linens. What? So yes, so we have a new discount that'll be available for linens, and we have tested these sheets and slept on them ourselves personally. Some students have done so, and they just feel so good. They feel so great. So anyway, I'm excited to hear you guys respond to them as well, because I think you're going to like them. So basically, it's less than what we've been paying on Amazon, especially once you apply the discount, and they feel so much better. It's so awesome. Anyway, getting excited. How long will Lodgify be offering the Black Friday special, Veronica? I do not know. So move fast. That's all I can tell you. I actually don't know. But that's what made me fast track telling you guys, was like, oh my gosh, that price is too good. Now, if you happen to miss the special, I've still negotiated a discount for us, but it's just not as good as what they gave everybody for Black Friday. That's why I did that. So, Phil, what's up? Jay, is there a way I can join the Lodgify sessions without subscribing to Lodgify at this time? I plan to switch to Lodgify, but I'm waiting till the solution has a mobile app and pricing integration. I rely on these functions in Toki and would have a hard time dropping them. Nope. Phil, I've already got workarounds for both of those things, because you're not the only one who relies upon those functions. So yeah, I'm aware of that. So I've already got workarounds for both of those things. So hopefully that answers your question. We've been testing something extremely similar by spying on your listings. Seriously? I think that's awesome, by the way. Good idea. And yes, you've been spying on me. Now I just need a discount on those cleaning linens. Yes, we've got that. Tony, where do we sign up for Lodgify? Go to, I'll put it on the screen. Make sure you use this link, because what it does is they send me an email, then I can send them to make sure that you guys get set up properly in their system for the dedicated account rep, etc. Cashflowdiary.com/manage calendar. Cashflowdiary.com/manage calendar. The Black Friday price will expire today for Lodgify. That is what Lorena says, Veronica. So apparently go now when you that's what Lorena says. So go now. How do we get the link for the feel good sheets? I need to I haven't, while it's created, I don't have a graphic for it. So I can tell it to you, or you know what? I can type it in. Hold on one second. I can type it in. It's cashflowdiary.com / and you're gonna let me hold on. I'm just gonna make sure I typed it right, because if I type it wrong and then tell it to you wrong, you're like, that didn't work. And I'm like, yeah, I know. Then we have to spend all that time trying to get it corrected. All right, let me make sure I got it right. Yep. All right, so it is so we haven't made the graphics for it yet, but I'm typing it in the student chat right now. So if you're in the student group, you're going to get the link as of this exact second. And did it go? I think it did. Yes, there it is. And now I'm going to go type it in the mastery group right. Oh my God, look at those questions. I'll get there. Just give me 1 second. So it's cashflowdiary.com/silky sheets. That's what I called it, silky, SILKY sheets with an S. And the discount is applied on the last page at checkout. So they found us. They actually contacted us, which I thought was pretty cool. And they say they won't run. I know many of you have been concerned at times because when I place orders, or we all place orders, the duvets or covers go on back order, sheets, something. They say they can handle the volume. I have no reason to doubt them at this moment. They are one of the number one sellers on Amazon. Our pricing is better than what they're giving the Amazon customers. So use the link. That's all I know. And the sheets feel awesome. That's all I know. Okay. Let's go back. Where to go? Keisha is, she's listening. I like it. So yeah, you got the link. We'll get graphics made. We haven't even gotten that far yet, but we will. All right, Davey J, thanks for the intro on Logify. I know why I'm not using a PMS that is an official. I know I'm not using an official Airbnb partner like Streamline. I don't want to create a single Airbnb property manager account and pull all my listings in that one account. What stops you from creating an official Airbnb property? What stops you? Hold on. Jay, thanks for the info on Logify. You're welcome. I know why I'm not using a PMS that is an official Airbnb partner like Streamline. I don't want to create a single Airbnb property manager account and put all my listings in that one account. What stops you from creating an official? Are you asking me why I haven't made my own software? I don't know what you're really asking me, Davey. I think I'm missing what you're trying to say. TJ, hey Jay, sorry if this has been answered already at some point. You mentioned that you have more than one Airbnb account. Why is that? How many listings do you have on one account? How do you choose which listings to put on Logify? Got it. All right, so understand, Logify is the PMS. It's the software that manages all of the distributions. In this case, we're using it to manage the calendar. That's why the link is cashflowdiary.com/manage the calendar. Think of it as your distribution mechanism. It has other features, one of them being a website, obviously. But what I'm saying is Logify fits the bill for all of the things that we need from a channel manager and integrations with other channels, as well as our own websites, as well as integration with pricing, as well as the apps. And as Phil was bringing up earlier, there are some features that are currently in beta. For example, Phil, so that you know, I have the app actually on my phone already. They just haven't yet released it to the public. So this is how I know these things are coming, because I, again, had the same concerns. So, and the pricing was pretty good. Plus, some of the big stuff that I'm excited to begin to finally teach you guys to do are going to be things like upsells and add-ons. Upsells are different than add-ons, so we'll talk about that another day. But being able to add that to your revenue, especially during low months like you're in California, Novembers and Februarys. Because if you could add another $200 to $300 per reservation, low months, yes, would still be lower revenue, but it wouldn't be as painful because you know what? You can make up for it by selling maybe more Wi-Fi or more cleaning or more something over and over and over again. So yeah, and you're going to so with that being said, TJ, everything's going in Logify, because it's the central nervous system, if you will, of your business. But the question is does everything still go on Airbnb or not? Maybe, maybe not. I mean, if you ask Akila, the answer is maybe not. If you start to get, or you ask Davey, maybe not, because maybe he doesn't, now that he knows he's forcibly pet friendly, right? He may not want to do that anymore, but now he'll have a choice. So, yeah. I don't know if that answered the question. Oh, well, how many accounts? Currently 3. I had those originally because I was trying to, for example, similar to what Davey just said, what happens if they decide to, if you have one account, you have a single point of failure. That's what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about single points of failure. If a account gets shut down for whatever reason, how do you have a backup? That was the original thought process, okay? That was the original thought process. Also behind that was protecting superhost status. Also behind that, and whether we like it or not, is not everybody wants to do business with someone that is of a particular ethnicity. Unfortunately, I've had incidences where this has been proven to me in this particular business. So we do our best to be as welcoming to all because I don't want to hurt our revenue for some silliness like that. People are okay, and I found this out especially when I would walk or meet with people in the commercial real estate world. They're okay if they thought I was like the insurance guy or just the photographer, because this is what I would do, is that I would intentionally, to help people around themselves, I would carry my camera, and my cameras are the kind that look professional, etc. So they would assume, oh, he's not the owner, he's got the camera, which is great. It relaxes them, puts me in a strong negotiating position. They don't realize, they don't know that I know. But because I know this, I use it to my advantage. So for all of those things and more, that's where it was. There was a time where, say, there has been history where, say, an Airbnb or a platform was petitioned by a city or a government agency to get rid of all people who are operating too many listings or whatever they deemed too many, or operating, what did New York call it? Illegal hotels. So there was a cutoff at one time of 10 listings, put you into this category. I'm saying all this to say all of that has changed. The marketplace has matured. Airbnb has matured. They now have a professional classification. They now have a professional tools section. Everything has changed when it comes to how they operate. So I don't really think it's as necessary as it once was. If something is as necessary as it once was. So that's what I'm going to say. We'll leave that there. Send me a link of you listing so I can take a peek at your listing. What type of photo do you use for my Airbnb profile? I use a photo that is representative of the virtual assistants that they would be actually talking to, not myself. So I'll leave that at that. So these sheets, can I start ordering? Yes, Ladero, you can order right now all day long. Oh my God, they feel so good. Anyway, I don't know what they make them with, but they just feel so much better. Jay, what are your thoughts on co-hosting? My thoughts are, don't do it. Usually the reason you're saying co-hosting is because you're trying to get startup costs to be lower, or you're afraid of taking the risk and you're trying to give the risk to someone else. And what's really is that I would rather you go ahead and quote unquote bite the bullet, because there's not as much risk as you currently think. Do you believe we should manage everything, or are co-hosts used once you reach a particular level? I think you should manage everything. That's part of what that's part of what I'm teaching you. I'm teaching you how to be efficient. Understand, we have 27 listings currently, 27 separate locations in 3 different jurisdictions: Orange County, Long Beach, and Los Angeles. If you've ever been out here, you know, while it sounds like they're close, they're really not. It can take 2 hours to travel from one to the other, depending on the time of day. I'm saying all that to say, with the right system, you can manage that in 90 minutes a day or less, because I do. Second question, have you had any experience hosting experiences? No. I've thought about that. People have asked me about that. But because I can't, in my head, wrap around, it's hard for me to host an experience. And for those of you who don't know what she's talking about, when she says an experience, what happens is that there's an option. Like if you want to give the people a custom tour of your area, you can host an experience. And anyone who wants a custom tour of your area, or you want to teach people to do pottery or something, I don't know, whatever, makes you good, that you can do that. Think of it like an excursion on a cruise ship, if you will. You can be the host for that, and people can pay you for those things. My problem with that is I don't know how to scale that, right? Nor do I want to invest the time in trying to figure out, because when I go, okay, cool, yeah, I could do it, but now that's my time. I don't want to put my time, I don't want to put my time into that. Now, would I build a company that could service, 12 different experiences and hundreds of people simultaneously? Yeah. But do I know those people? Do I want to invest the time to build that structure? Not at this particular moment. That is just not on my list. However, if you're an event planner or someone like that, and you've already know those people, probably right up your alley, right? But it's definitely not up mine. All right. I see more questions coming in. I'm getting to them. Yes. Ryan, if you've already addressed this, just say so. My understanding with Logify, we can't import properties or listings from Airbnb. Is that correct? Yes. Is the only option to manually create each property in Logify at this moment, Ryan? Yes, that is the answer. I have been negotiating with them. They are in Spain, and I've been trying to do my best. I was like, hey, if we bring you enough, can you do it for all of us? Like, if you have a high volume account, like I would be considered a high volume account. We know that Erica would be, and Rebecca would be considered a high volume account. We could get it done for ourselves. I'm trying to negotiate it to get them to do it for everybody. That has not gone over yet. So yes, at this moment, it is, in theory, one-time manual creation. I understand, Ryan, I'm with you. I didn't want to do it either, but yeah. Latoya, do the linen special include duvet covers? It's everything that they sell, Latoya, including the covers. I will say this. Of all of their linens that they had available, I personally did not like the covers. Now, I'm a guy. Don't necessarily take my word for it. We've had other people go, well, there was nothing wrong with the covers. I was like, whatever. So, but that's me. But I love those sheets. That's all I'm going to say. I can say that over and over again because they were really good. All right. Looking for more questions. Oh, hold on. Airbnb. So the sheets, can I start ordering? Yes, got it. Davey, click. I think you're trying to get me to look at this link. Any particular ones? What are you talking about, Ladero? Any particular ones? I'm not sure what you mean by any particular ones. Anything on their website would be technically subject to the discount. And let me look at this screen. Meet our software partners. Oh, got it. He's asking, why am I not using these guys? Okay, I can go through many of them. All right, so let me show everybody. Davey is wondering, how come if I'm using software, how come I'm not using one of the ones that they recommend? I'll be straight with you. All of these, the ones that I've tested, the Beds 24, the Streamline VR, Rentals United, My VR, Cloud Beds, those are the ones that service the U.S. that I'm aware of. I may have looked at Sabi. It looks familiar, but I can't remember. But not all of these deal with U.S. customers, or always. All right. Not all of these. Most of them, they have to integrate and, remember, build the entire system. You're not building a system or one piece at a time. For example, if my PMS doesn't work with my pricing software and doesn't have an app, very similar to what Phil said, then it doesn't work, period. And many of these don't even meet that one simple qualification. So they're just knocked off the list, right? So we're trying to build a system that can operate and be scalable and efficient, because that's where we make our money, is by being efficient, not by just using whatever software is recommended. They've done that. They've tried that already. That's why you and I have the opportunity, and that's what happened. So I go out there and I start evaluating and testing, and does it work with this, and will it do that, and can we still do this? Because we need these things, because when you can't handle it electronically or with software, you end up having to handle it manually, and that's a problem because people are expensive. I'm not against creating jobs. I want to create as many as humanly possible. I just want to be efficient about it. And not all of these tools are, help with that efficiency. So that's really what it comes down to, Davey. If it breaks the system, it doesn't work. And many of these things on their list breaks the system, which is why we use the ones that don't. So hopefully that makes more sense. All right. Did you guys even see any of that? I don't even know. Did you see? Okay, so now you can see. These are the names that I was referring to just a second ago, because this is what was on the screen, or this is what I was looking at. So these names, not all of these names, they don't, not all of them have all of, some of them do, and I think you can see right here, Logify is on the list. They don't have a logo. They didn't pay the extra money to be the preferred with the logo up here. But Logify is on the list, right? But so yeah, I mean, you can, and you're you're more than welcome to test all of these. But I would recommend you not, because that's a lot of work. I promise you it is. So yeah, but and that's really where that's coming from at the end of the day. All right, let me see. Looking for more questions. Oh, sorry, got the answer. Okay, good. I'm glad you got the answer. Jaleesa, got you there. Does the linen special do duvet covers? Yep, I think I already answered that one. Yeah, the linen the linen discount is everything on their site. On their site, go for it. Knock yourselves out. I only cared, again, to be very clear, I only cared about and tested their bedding because that's what I cared about. So you guys are welcome to test their other products too. I have not done that. Okay. Anybody else? Anything else? I'm looking for anything else. All right. I'm not seeing any more questions. I'm hoping that means I got all of them. If I missed your question, I absolutely apologize. Totally sorry. If you are brand new here or watching the replay on YouTube, come and join us in the mastery group. And then eventually we want you to graduate to the student group where we have the higher level, deeper conversations about all the complicated topics, as you saw was happening real time today when it comes to the ESA or the service animal, because you need to know how to handle these things and where these platforms stand. And ultimately that serves the entire point, is that what you got to do is you got to build a business that's independent, keywords here, of the platforms. And if you're not doing that intentionally, consciously from the beginning, you have a problem, which, by the way, is another reason for those of you who were not in the student group, you didn't get a chance to hear the reasons why, one of the reasons why Logify was the tool for managing the calendar, why it came up, is because there are certain marketing things being able to connect to what is known as a marketing automation platform. Being able to do that is what's going to give you a lot of that control and independence that you're looking for. That same connection does not exist in a lot of the other softwares that you saw on the previous screen earlier. I mean, anyway, we feel we've done a significant amount of research to make sure that you guys can have the most efficient, fluid, functional system that we could put together that allows you to go out there and earn a very decent income with contributing very little of your own time. Anyway, this has been your first time here. Welcome. I'm glad. This is how we roll on Tuesdays, to give you the questions and your answers. Unfortunately, we didn't have anybody come on live today. That's okay. It is what it is. We look forward to, of course, being back again next week. And we also look forward to serving you continuously. And if you have any questions, make sure you type them in the Facebook group. As you can see, there's a lot of us in there from all across the globe. So you can get answers in real time. Anyway, it's been fun talking to you guys today. I look forward to talking to you soon. Until next time.
Jay Massey is a full-time real estate investor. He's an entrepreneur.
He also teaches people how to find deals, raise capital for real estate investments.
Meeting Jay Massey in person, you'd think he's just a regular guy. He's got jeans and a t-shirt on and a pair of sneakers. But he's built up a multi-million-dollar empire.
I hope you do have an empty notebook, because it's going home filled.
Jay gives back so much value that I've never seen.
Now, at this moment, when I'm looking at the kitchen, things are going through my head.
You want to be friends with him, and he treats you like you're the only person in the room, even though it's for the benefit of everybody.
This is how, when you ask yourself, how does Jay do it? This is how.
He tells people that they have to take action, and they have to take action now. I took the action, and the results have paid off.
What happens when the marketplace understands who we are and how we go out there?